Hey guys, Caller here, bringing you a single game played earlier today between Samson Khan and SKT1, between Firebathero and Midas. And I'm choosing this game to cast because Firebathero has not only been known this year for his crazy dances and his arrogance and his swagger, but he's also been known for some excellent Terran vs. Terran play. He's actually on a 4-game winning streak right now. I mean, even the day after he lost to Much, in a humiliating loss, he came right back and he defeated Mind. And you can find the cast of that game in my account. Anyway, he's been facing Midas this time. Firebathero spawning in red at the 7 o'clock position. His opponent, Midas, spawning in purple at the 11 o'clock. Midas, of course, playing for SKT1. Midas is a pretty good Pro League player. He's generally just not so good in single leagues, though. Recently, a lot of players have been just defeating him left and right, and it's sort of their claim to fame. It's like, oh, he beat Midas. I think I stole that from Moletrap, actually. So if Moletrap's watching this, then the credits to you for that saying. Anyway, this map is Wuthering Heights, and Terran vs. Terran games tend to be very interesting on this map. It's just a lot of vulture play, I think, could occur here, because the center is going to be very difficult to break open. Once tanks are established on there, you'll need your vultures to run around on this map and try to get into your opponent's base. I think that's a picture of Midas. I think. Midas also known for his cooking, believe it or not. There's this picture of him making, I think it was making I Love UUV lunch. And it was this like complicated meal inside of the SKT1 house. So interesting. Looks like Firebathero actually is building a barracks in a sort of hidden proxy location there. Interesting enough, positioning his barracks outside his base. I wonder if he's going to be going for a little bit of a marine rush here. Although I wouldn't call this an all-in rush by any means. He did go for the supply depot first, and I think he probably will be going just for an early barracks in a forward position, and then going for some early pressure. Maybe going for a 2-factory build afterwards, getting some vultures into the opponent's base. And we're also seeing the same thing from Midas, believe it or not. Midas is also building his barracks in a forward position. Interesting. I think partially the reason for this is that there is that very small choke point between your main base and your natural expansion on this map, which can be blocked by a single building, or you know, a couple of units would block it. So I guess both players don't want to have their barracks inside their base and perhaps get their marines trapped or have it hard for their marines to move out. Firebathero scouting in the wrong direction, though. And note that both players have gotten their refineries, so certainly both players are going to be getting factories. Here's Midas's factory, and here is Firebathero's factory. So both are going to be going for perhaps a fake rush here, just putting some early pressure on the opponent. However, since both players have gone for proxy barracks and for marines, I don't think this pressure is going to work. It'll probably just be a marine-on-marine fight in the middle, which should be interesting to watch. I'll come down a little bit of micro, actually. Marine on marine combat in similar numbers, the winner is the one who micros better. And here's Midas scouting Firebathero. He's going to notice the fact that Firebathero does not have a barracks in his base, so he's going to know that Firebathero is up to something. And Firebathero also, I think he has an idea of where Midas is by now. I think he's actually gotten his scout into Midas's base. So 2-on-2 here. Third marine being produced for Firebathero, though, so you might be able to get an advantage. And a fourth one coming from above. So Firebathero actually has produced quite a lot of marines here, and he looks like he's going to be committing for a bit of a rush here. But meanwhile, Midas is building a starport. This is right north of Firebathero's base. So Midas planting a proxy starport, and Firebathero has built a supply depot in the area blocking Midas's base from the outside world. So Firebathero taking advantage of that little choke point, and what he's actually done is he sort of pinned the marines outside of the base, and oh man, Firebathero microing very well here. He's executing all the marines one by one outside of Midas's base, and Midas has lost all of his marines, so that's going to set him back a little bit, and Firebathero is going to be able to use them once his factory units come out. Here comes the first vulture from Firebathero, and it seems like he's probably going to cancel that supply depot just in time. Interesting little block there. We've seen that on other maps. I think there was a map, which map was it? Loki, I think, where you had a very narrow choke that you could do that too. You could plant a, I don't think it was Loki, actually, it was Tau Cross, where you can plant a pylon and block it. And I don't think Firebathero knows his starport's there, though. That's absolutely critical for Midas. This is what Midas can use to come back in the game, although he's not really that far behind. This certainly will help Midas, though. And Firebat Hero is going to be completely surprised by this. As we're seeing from his first-person view, he has no idea the starport is inches away from his base. And what will Firebat Hero do once these raids come into his base? Also, the control tower going up for Midas, so he's going to be getting cloaked raids. Looks like Firebat Hero using his Marines to great success there, managing to chase away Midas's vultures. So once again, pinning the ground units in. But Firebat Hero's gone for his expansion. This is terrible for him. There was the Samson Khan coach looking a little worried, and she has a reason to be worried, because Firebat Hero is about to be thrown into the fire here, and these wraiths are going to be going to his base, and Firebat Hero has absolutely no anti-air. The last of his Marines going down. Here comes cloak research, and also the first wraith. Firebat Hero getting his second factory up, but he does not have an early armory, of course, and there was Bisu, by the way, staring intensely at the screen. And oh, nice! Midas actually sniping off Firebat Hero's command center SCV there, so slowing down this expansion. And now the Wraith is out. He's killing this. These SCVs fighting off the Vulture, and Firebat Hero has absolutely nothing in his base to defend. And if Midas can find this SCV building the armory, he will be able to just stop any anti-air that Firebat Hero is building, and just eventually kill off all the SCVs. Here comes Firebat Hero with his floating barracks, actually planting it next to the factory of Midas. I don't think this is going to be successful, though, because really, I mean, what is he going to make? One Marine there? And obviously Firebat Hero, obviously Midas knows it's there. Anyway, so Midas actually getting a second barracks, actually. I don't think his first barracks is dead yet. Firebat Hero is going to stop the construction. Nope, he's not. The second command center finishes, but I don't think Midas should actually be going for these SCVs. I think he should actually be going for the SCVs that are building the armory, but I think the armory is already up for him. So Midas losing out on an opportunity to really put the hurt on Firebat Hero and make this attack really stick. Here comes Firebat Hero. Using some vultures to plant mines in front of Midas's base, and this and Midas also blocking the path of the units away from Firebat Hero's base. So both players sealing sort of the other player in. But I'm a little surprised that Midas allowed that to happen, allowed those mines to get dropped in his natural expansion. Only finally is he going in for the main base here. He's going to try to kill off the SCV building his academy. It looks like he does, so he's going to slow the comsat stations down, and for a while he will have free reign here with his two raids. But it seems that Midas has actually stopped building raids, and here the academy is done. The first Goliath is out, and nice cloak by Midas, but once this comsat station goes up, that will be the end of this cloak wraith raid here, and Midas will have to switch gears. So I'm actually a little disappointed in Midas here. I think he could have done more damage with this Wraith Rush, given how risky it was. I think he should have just attacked the main base, try to kill off any SCVs building an armory or an engineering bay or an academy, and just really try to slow Firebat Hero down that way. There was a Vulture there, but it looks like it's getting killed off by the SCVs. Wow. Not such great control by Midas here. So Firebat Hero actually fighting himself back into the lead here, because Midas does not have his expansion up, and Midas is going to lose his barracks. Oh, I see why he built a second barracks. He was building a second barracks because his first barracks was going to be used in trying to close off the choke point there. So now the second barracks will be there, so he can continue building factories. Meanwhile, Firebat Hero getting more more vultures into this choke point here, and it seems that there's still a lot of mines there. They're blocking off access to the natural expansion by Midas. And Midas has a number of idle SCVs also. Midas really hasn't done much in the single leagues. I think I said this, but since 2006, when he was a bronze medalist in the OSL, since then he's only really succeeded in Proleague so far. And Firebat Hero pushing up with his tanks and Goliaths now, he might be able to pick off this floating starport. But no, he doesn't. That would have been a huge loss for Midas, actually. And now Midas does have siege mode up. He's transferring his SCVs, but he is quite behind Firebat Hero, even though he has picked off, I think, a dozen SCVs with his raids. I think Firebat Hero is pretty much at economic parity, and I think he actually has a superior army right now. Actually, Midas does have 4 tanks to Firebat Hero's 2, so perhaps not. And Firebat Hero now is going to lose his floating barracks, so he's going to need to plant a factory if he wants to build that 3rd factory right now. And here comes Firebat Hero trying to set up a little bit of a contain on the ramp there. Of course, the center of the map is very critical in Wuthering Heights. there are 4 expansions around there, and each expansion has a double gas. So an incredibly profitable area for later on points in the game. And of course, if you hold the middle, your opponent will have to basically attack the long way around. Because if you get tanks overlooking the side path, then it's just basically not going to cut it. Well, if you have they're just not going to be able to cut down through the left side, and they'll just get sieged on the way. Sorry about that. And it seems that now we're seeing another barracks going up for Firebathero to replace the one that was destroyed. Comsat stations going up also. And here we're going to see some tank-on-tank combat. Midas does have the advantage of those 2 raids, so nice work picking off one of Firebathero's tanks there. Firebathero has a height advantage, but right now he has fewer tanks, and he doesn't have anything to sight the tanks with to give vision. It looks like he's using Comsat, though.